Hey, this is Russell Brunson, and during this video, I'm gonna show you guys behind the scenes of our event funnel that we've been using for the last 10 years to fill Funnel Hacking Live. I'm gonna show you behind the scenes because a lot of you guys are doing either live events or virtual events, and one of the number one questions I get from you guys is how in the world do you use funnels to fill live events? Again, this works for virtual or live events, but specifically, this is the exact funnels and the ads that we've used to fill Funnel Hacking Live year after year after year. So if you wanna learn how to fill a funnel, this video is gonna be great for you. At the end of this video, I'm gonna give you all of the pages, the links, everything you need to be able to model this and build it out inside of your ClickFunnels account. And what's cool about this is a very simple funnel that anybody can do, even you. So with that said, let's jump right in. So the very first thing you need to know is to run an event for a decade, year in and year out, it's always like, how do you reinvent yourself? How do you be exciting? How do you get people to come back to it? It all starts with the ads that people are gonna start seeing. And so you'll notice here above, there's a lot of different types of ads we use. Anytime you can get somebody to experience the product, they're more likely to buy it, right? And so with the ads, I wanna try to put people inside of the room. I want them to feel what it feels like to be there. So this first ad you can see over here, I'll kind of blow it up. I'm not gonna show the audio, just the visuals you can see from this. As you'll notice, it's like we're trying to get people like a feeling of like, this what it feels like when you're in Funnel Hacking Live. And you see the energy and the emotion, and like what you'll notice is like, the shots we're trying to get are either, as you can see, it's like the audience, like we're running in with the audience. You're trying to get people's eyes. You're trying to get like the feeling of them being inside of it, right? Our camera guys are during the event on stage, running with people, getting their awards, all kind of stuff. Like they want to experience what it looks like behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. And so we're using a lot of visuals because I want people to put themselves in the mindset of like, wow, this is actually happening. Like this is what it'd be like to be in that room, right? So that's what this type of ad is, like a feeling ad. I want them to feel what it feels like to be part of Funnel Hacking Live. Next, we always try to do fun pattern interrupts. And so for those who've been there in the past, they see this, they remember some of the funny things, and it makes them want to come back. And those who haven't, it's like, oh, this is different than other events. This is like really, really fun. So I'll show you just a few seconds of the video.
Funnel Hacking Live is an event like no other, where thousands of people gather together to be inspired by world-class marketers like Russell Brunson, Tony Robbins, Kaylin Poulin, and many more. However, it's also 4 days of intense training that's going to take everything you've got to come out the other side. That's right, we created Funnel Hacking Live Survival Guide. 4 days is a long time. Is it worth it?
Okay, now I would show you the whole thing, but obviously you don't want to watch a full 30-minute ad, but you bring humor in to make it just different and unique, right? Whenever we're building a long-term campaign like this, like for fill Funnel Hacking Live, it takes us about 10 months to fill it. So like we're hitting different angles. So there's the experiential, there's the comedy. So the question we're always asking, like how do I give people a reason to buy now, right? And so that's what this ad was for, so to like really play into that part of the season. Check out part of this ad.
What are you doing? I'm trying to hide my money from the IRS so I can pay less in taxes. Oh, there's a better way, honey. Didn't you hear? The last Funnel Hacking Live is in Vegas, and when you click the link below to buy a ticket before December 31st, you can write off your entire expense from your taxes. Or could I write off my flights to Vegas? That's what I said. Well, how about the hotel? You can write off everything. And the ticket to Funnel Hacking Live? Are you even listening to what I'm saying? Or betting my life savings on blackjack, going shopping, and marrying a girl named Sparkles? Whoa, whoa, whoa. You can't go crazy with.
Okay, so there you go. So that's kind of just a visual of like an ad. Again, we're trying to figure out like what's a reason for them to buy now. So there's these things to do around New Year's, there's things we do around Valentine's, like whatever the holiday, whatever the thing is, like we're looking for different reasons to get people to promote. Okay, so that's the first thing when you're putting together your campaign for live event, just realizing you got to hit it from a lot of different angles, a lot of different ads, a lot of creative, different things you're gonna be mixing up to be able to get the right messaging to get people to want to come. Now, obviously, if you're gonna sell stuff online, you're gonna need a good funnel. But if you want a great funnel, then you're gonna need to use ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is the #1 funnel builder in the world, and it's helped more first-time entrepreneurs to leave their 9-to-5 job and to launch their dreams than any other company in the world. ClickFunnels was built for dreamers and for doers, and you can get your free 14-day trial by clicking on the link in the description down below or by going to clickfunnels.com/YouTube right now. ClickFunnels, because you're one funnel away from changing the world. Okay, so now you guys see some of the hooks we use to get people in. Now I want to walk you guys through the actual funnel. Now, what's cool about event funnels is they're not that complicated. They're very simple, but the reality is even though I'm going to show you as the core event funnel we use to sell Funnel Hacking Live, there's 2 other funnels that we're also using kind of behind the scenes to sell tickets. And so I'm going to show you guys all those different funnels and so you have a chance to see them all, okay? So this is inside of the new ClickFunnels. You can kind of see what it looks like. Page number 1, it's a very simple funnel. Page number 1, they go and they see the video about the event. Page number 2, then we have an and there's an order form, obviously, where they go and they buy. Page number 2, then we have an upsell to get them to buy a VIP ticket. And then step number 3, thank them. So that's it. 3-page funnel, very simple, very easy. I'll walk you through each of the pages and some of the intricacies and the important things about each of the pages. Okay, so here's the very first page. And first page, a couple of things is, again, typically because this is an event, events of all the things we sell are the hardest things to sell, right? Because it's not just like, do I want to come to the event, right? It's like, okay, I have to get time off of work. I got to convince my spouse. I got to get flights. I get hotels. Like, it's one of the hardest things to sell in our entire business. Like events and continuity are the two hardest things. And so a couple things above the fold. Number one is I want to have a spot where they can quickly and easily get tickets above the fold. That's why there's like get the tickets button way up here. I'm not trying to hide this. It's not like a VSL product. I'm trying to sell something, like watch the video for 30 minutes. I'm going to pop up an order form. With this, it's like, I want them coming because they're going to see this page hundreds of times before they commit to it, right? It's not like an impulse buy. It's much more of I got to consistently get them excited by it, right? Again, that's why for Funnel Hacking Live, it's a 10-month cycle to get the event filled, okay? Number two is the headline, obviously, which is key. And what you want to have in the headline above the fold, really, really big, are the location and the dates and the times. Number one question we get is, when is it happening? What's the dates? What, and if they don't see that in front of their face all the time, then there's a good shot they are not going to know when it's happening and they're not going to sign up, okay? So above the fold, we have that. And then the next thing, and this is different. If this is your very first event ever, you can't do this. But if this is your second event, what you do with the event footage is you create what we call an after movie, okay? An after movie is like a trailer. And so this is an after movie. So the sales letter is showing them what happened last year, but then talking about why they need to come this year, right? And so if you want to see the actual after movie, I think that this is one of the things we do best inside of our company, our after movies. But if you go to funnelhackinglive.com, obviously you can go and watch this video. When you watch it, feel the energy. It feels like a movie trailer. Like that's what we're trying to get. Now, if you haven't done the event yet, it's hard to do an after movie, obviously. I had one friend who he was going to do an event, so he actually rented the studio, brought in a bunch of actors and taught for like an hour and made an after movie like that. I don't recommend that. You can obviously just do a more traditional video sales there, but you talking about what you're creating, why it's important, stuff like that. So that's kind of what this is right here. Okay. And then again, above the fold, we have the option for them to buy the ticket. So all that is above the fold, again, because I'm going to be sending people here so consistently month after month after month to fill the event. I don't want to hide those things. I need to have the spot to get tickets, the dates, an after movie of what the event's about, and then a spot to have then buy tickets right out of the gate. Okay. So those are the core, most important things. Then after that, then we come down and now it's like, okay, now let's get people excited about who's actually speaking there, right? So for us, we kick it off with whoever our keynote is. Obviously, Tony Robbins, the keynote for Funnel Hacking Live 10, which is, by the way, the last Funnel Hacking Live. So I'm showing you my secrets now because it's not going to matter because this is the last time I'm doing a big event like this. So we lead off the keynote from there, and then boom, now we start a story to our people, okay? Again, one of the most powerful things we've done inside of our community is giving people a name. So it's like, Dear Funnel Hacker. And then from here, we start talking to them, right? It's a letter directly to the person who we're trying to get to come. And so we tell the story. So what's the story? For us, this is our last Funnel Hacking Live ever. We've done it for 10 years. I'm telling the story, right? So there's the story about what we're doing. Right, you might remember one of my frameworks talk about a lot, hook, story, offer, right? Up here, this is all the hook. Tony Robbins is the hook. Now we transition to story. Here's the story. This is the last dance. Is Russell going crazy? Why is he doing this? Right, so I'm telling the whole story, and then I'm introducing the offer, right? So the offer is like, you're going to come and learn how to become one of the radicals. And I talked about what the radical is, then we talk about the awards. So these are all the things that are happening in the event, okay? And again, it's just the long form sales that are showing that. They've never transitioned to who are the people that are speaking, and we don't tell all of them, right? One of the biggest things, like curiosity is one of the most powerful tools we have inside of marketing. So when you're like, here's all the speakers, then a lot of times like, oh, I know that person or I don't. And it could be a draw, but also could be like, oh, I've heard these people speak before, right? And so you'll notice that, we have some people that are secret, right? Mr. X. I have so many of my friends message me, who's Mr. X? Who's Mr. X, right? So I show kind of a view of who the speakers are. And then from there, we come down and we start walking through the schedule. Okay, here's day number 1. Here's who's speaking. Here's what's happening. Here's what we're going to talk about. So you get more details about that, right? You get a picture of angry Russell doing with the fist. So like very intense there. Day 2, we tell the stories of the speakers, who's coming through, right? Because you just need one speaker they want to connect with for them to come and say, okay, I'm going to get my tickets. Day number 3, right? Mr. X, we leave some curiosity there. And so we're showing all different people that are speaking, who's, why they're speaking, all that kind of stuff. And then we come back down after we introduce all the people. Then come back down to the call to action, which is get your tickets for Vegas, and then with the order form right here on the page. Okay. Okay, now a couple things we do. Obviously for us, ticket prices are $1,000. They fill it out down here, and then we add the replays for $97, and it's crazy what percentage of people take that, so it's a great order form bump. Also, if you want to bring a partner, you click on there. This takes some custom coding to be able to do this, but then they can throw in their partners' names right here. If they want to bring in 1 partner, 3 partners, 5 partners, right? And so what's nice about this is it increases your average cart value, how many tickets people are buying at one time, right? Because a lot of times they want a ticket for them and their spouse, their business partner, so you give them the ability in the order form to do multiple tickets and multiple people take it. In fact, if you look back here on the order form, you can see that the average cart value. So on average, people spend $1,300 when they buy a ticket, even though a ticket's only $9.97, right? So most people are buying something else in the funnel. And this is the core things right here are the partner plans and then the replays, okay? And then down here we have FAQs, which are always powerful inside of funnels, but especially event funnels. Because so many things, like are there sponsorship opportunities? What's the event schedule going to be like? When's the deadline? Like all these kind of things. There you go. That's all the info for page number 1 here inside the funnel. Now it transitions to page number 2. So they just bought their ticket. They're so excited. Now what we do is then, and this is the first year we've done this. We've been doing this for 10 years. And we finally just, we finally have done, finally added this. And looking back now, I've lost tens of millions of dollars by not doing this. But what we decided to do is we decided to add an extra day, a bonus day ahead of time. So Dan Kennedy wanted to do a Dan Kennedy day. So we attached it to the front of Funnel Hacking Live. So the day before. And so it's basically like, hey, you're coming to Funnel Hacking Live anyway. We want to come a day early and then have my mentor, Dan Kennedy, actually teach you stuff, right? And boom, so I have a video here of me basically saying that. So again, you notice the page. We congrats them on getting their seats. Before you go read this page, it's only available to FHL ticket purchasers. And then how'd you like to meet my mentor, Dan Kennedy? Boom, and then video, and then right here. And then I wanted to make this very visually, like when we first had this funnel, it was confusing. Like it was in the copy, like there's a day ahead of time, but like, I look at me, I'm very visual. So I'm like, I want to make sure that people understand this, right? So that's why I came up with this idea for this graphic. Like, okay, here's Funnel Hacking Live right now. You come a day early, you get a special day with Dan Kennedy. And right now it's like 40-something% of people who buy a ticket are buying this upsell. So this one is one of the easiest ways to add an extra $800 to your ticket sale just by adding a pre-day, right? And so, yeah, this is one of the most powerful things we've done. I wish I had done this back at FHL number 1, but unfortunately we didn't, right? And again, you can do it with just as above the fold. And then obviously my team and I, we get excited and we like write long form copy as well. So we've got the whole long form sales letter down below. And then they can get their tickets here to upgrade, or they can say no thanks, okay? And then from there, it takes you to the last page, which is just like, thank you, check your email, put it on your calendar, book your hotel, get the room block, join the community, all that kind of stuff. So those are the core pages there inside of an event funnel, okay? And again, they're pretty simple, they're pretty easy. That funnel is something any of you guys can do. But then from there, I want to transition to, just because again, I told you guys that this is like a 10-month process. And so, yes, this is like the final destination. So we're pushing people to go and get their tickets, but it's not the only thing we do. In fact, when people join my inner circle, a lot of them join because they want to learn event marketing. How do we fill an event? And one of the things I tell them is that, again, I told you earlier, like events are the hardest thing to sell. And so it's a consistent grind. We're always talking about it, right? So what happens is for us, Funnel Hacking Live ends, and then we got 12 months before the next one. So for the next 2 months, you just like catching our breath, breathing. And then 2 months later, that's when we start. And so the first thing we do is by that time, we've got the after movie done, right? So the first thing we do is we post the after movie, the headline and a ticket, and like, hey, you guys, FHL tier 2 months ago was amazing. Check out the after movie. You can go check out what happened. If you want to get your tickets for next year's FHL, go get them right now, right? And boom, that's the first pass, right? And we don't get a ton of people, but it gets them noting, okay, it's happening. Here's the dates. And look at the calendar. Sales start happening, right? And the goal with an event is just like, it's funny because we do huge campaigns all the time, like big promotions, big webinars. And I'm always in my head thinking, we're going to sell 1,000 tickets in one day. We never do. It's a constant, consistent grind. It's like we sell 20 tickets today, then 15 tomorrow, then 3, and then 18, and then 32, and then 12. And like, it's more of a constant, consistent thing. And so you've got to keep like ringing that bell, ringing that bell, ringing that bell over time for it to work, right? So on my podcast, I start talking about Funnel Hacking Live during Facebook Lives. When I'm going on other people's podcasts, like in my email, I'm just keep talking, I keep pushing people back to it, right? And so the first big push is the after movie. And usually with the after movie, we have a ticket discount, right? So then after that's done, right? After movie's done, ticket discount, then we go back and we start asking the speakers, right? And then what happens is now I got to give people a reason to buy a ticket. So what I'll do is I'll start introducing, hey, so-and-so, we just got Tony Robbins be our keynote. If you don't have a ticket yet, go get it. And then we go back to the sales page, right? And we'll add the Tony Robbins section with the order button. Okay, they come back and we get some more speakers. So I keep introducing speakers. So it's giving me a reason to talk, another reason to talk, another reason to talk, right? So I keep doing that over and over and over again, right? So that's what starts happening. Then after that, then it transitions and we start getting more into like the ticket buying motion, right? So now we start hitting people from different directions, different angles. So like, for example, in fact, right now we're 30 days away. For me filming this, about 30 days away from Funnel Hacking Live. Right now I'm interviewing each of the speakers live on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. I go live interviewing them and I push them back to the page, right? So I keep pushing them back to this core funnel to make the actual transaction happen. But externally, I'm doing all sorts of things. The ads, podcasts, revealing speakers, announcing speakers, all that kind of stuff. Now I'm going to show you 2 other funnels that we also use inside of our campaigns to get people to go and actually buy tickets. Okay, the first I'm going to show you is called the FHL Story, or the Funnel Hacking Live documentary. So after like 4 or 5 years of doing FHL, we actually made a documentary. So obviously a lot of you guys probably don't have a documentary yet. You can't do this, but think about some version of this. It could be a YouTube video, it could be something, but it's trying to tell the story, get people excited about the whole thing, right? So what we do is we have this page, fhlstory.com, and we drive people, right? So as I'm talking about Funnel Hacking Live, I'll come back, and every year I do this. I'm like, hey, you guys, we made a documentary showing behind the scenes of Funnel Hacking Live. This weekend, you and your kids should sit down and watch this, right? And we'll do a whole weekend campaign where we drive people here to go watch the documentary, right? So they come here, and they can see some of these trailers. These are little trailers for the documentary, gets them excited. They put their email address in. And so this is page number 1 in the funnel, okay? So again, this is getting people to watch a documentary. So a couple of things, so there's 3 trailer videos here. So when someone hits this page, then we retarget those people with these ads as well. So they'll get retargeted with the trailer video, get them to come back and watch the documentary, and then retargeted with another trailer video. So all these trailers push back to the documentary, and they opt in, and then it takes them to the actual documentary page. And this page is very simple. There's a headline, and then we just let them watch the entire 90-minute long documentary, which tells the story of Funnel Hacking Live. And so when people hear the story about Funnel Hacking Live, they get bought into the idea, the concept, the whole thing, and then they're more likely to want to actually experience it, okay? So one of the things I've learned in marketing, if you can make your audience feel like they're part of the process, they're more likely to want to connect into it, right? And so I used to do this when I was launching new products. I would in fact, you probably see now as I'm writing new books, right? I tell the stories about the books. I share behind the scenes. I talk about what's happening, and so people are they're on this journey with me, and they're as excited about the creation of it as I am, right? So this whole FHL documentary is to get them to be able to experience the creation with it, right? And so you can make a version of this where you filmed yourself planning the event, calling the speakers. In fact, we've done that in the years past where I filmed myself inviting every single speaker. We made a video about that, and we sent that out to everybody, right? So a lot of fun things you can do, but conceptually, do you see what I'm doing? I'm creating a reason to promote and a reason for someone to get a ticket and getting them to feel invested in the event that I'm trying to get them to come to, right? Now, as well on this FHL story, we have a lot of other cool things up here, right? You'll notice there's the documentary, but over here is over the years. So over the years, we have basically when the Funnel Hacking Live's over, what we do is we go back through and we take the after movie, right? And we post that here. So this is the after movie from the very first Funnel Hacking Live ever that someone can come and they can watch. Then over here, we come back and they do Funnel Hacking Live 2016. So when someone comes back here, opt-in's FHL story, a couple things happen, right? Number 1, obviously I push them to watch the documentary, but number 2, I start putting them in an email sequence let me tell you the story behind it. Here's 2015 what happened. Here's 2016 what happened, right? And we show this is how many registrants, how the budget was, how much we raised for charity, how many speakers, and we show our keynotes, and we tell the whole story about that one, which is really fun, right? They can go through, they can see all the different years. This is 2022, right? Same thing, 5.2 million on the budget, how much was donated, keynotes, anyway. So that's just, again, reasons to talk to them, reasons to send messages, reasons for people to get excited. And when that happens, when they go through this, they have a chance to go watch 10 different after movies from Funnel Hacking Lives. It's more experiences them wanting to come and actually see it. Do you have a funnel but it's not converting? 99.9% of the times it's because you have a good funnel, but you suck at selling. If you want to learn how to sell so your funnels will actually convert, then get your tickets to my next Selling Online 3-day event by going to sellingonline.com/YouTube or clicking on the link in the description down below. And the next thing we do is I was like, okay, all these other ones, it's these are documentaries, these are stories, but I want a funnel that gets people excited about experiencing Funnel Hacking Live, seeing what some of the speeches look like why should I be in that room, right? So that's why we added this little Backstage Pass tab right here. When you click on that, it takes you to a whole nother funnel, okay? So it says, for the first time ever, watch these live, raw, unedited secrets we found on the cutting room floor. These controversial presentations can't be found anywhere else but here, but you have to hurry and play them offline when the clock hits 0, right? So they come here and they register, and then from there, they register, and it's basically what we did is it gets them to watch the documentary if they haven't yet, right? Which is, again, very, very important. And number 2, it gives them free speech, about 10 free speeches. They can hear Frank Kern's speech, Prince EA's speech, Julius Dean's. These are some of our favorite speeches. Russell's speech, Dean's speech, Jamie Cross's, Pedro's. So again, some of our favorite speeches, we plug those in here because if they see that, they're like, wow, that's what's happening in Funnel Hacking Live. I need to be part of that, right? So they opt in, and then what happens is, after you put your email address in here, they put it in there, it takes you to the thank you page, and we're using Webinar Fuel to basically to daisy chain these webinars. So the very first webinar is Funnel Hacking Live, and then the next webinar will be the first presentation. So every day for the next 10 days, they're going to get one of these presentations, okay? And so they watch it right here, they download this app called Webby, They can download it. And I actually, right before we got here, check it out when I did that. It sent me a text as well saying, yes, you finally unlocked FHL's 10 favorite presentations for free. You can watch the first video here right now. So I click on that, and on my phone, it'll actually take me directly to my phone. And if I open the app, there it is. And start showing me the actual documentary starting. There you go. So it pushes the actual documentary here, and then the next day it pushes presentation number 1, then number 2, then number 3, and number 4. And starts pushing all those. And so what happens is they keep seeing these experiences over and over again, and they're more likely to be like, I need to be in that room. Man, that presentation from 3 years ago was so good. From 10 years ago was so good. And then each presentation, at the end of it, they hear me pitch them on why they need to go get their tickets at funnelhackinglive.com. Okay, so again, all these different funnels, I'll keep pushing back to funnelhackinglive.com. Funnelhackinglive.com. He's pushing it back over and over and over again. The number one thing that we found that drives ticket sales is we have to take something away. Okay, what does that mean? Again, I told you as we promote Funnel Hacking Live or any event, it's never this big, huge rush in sales. It's always like this trickle that keeps happening consistently over time, right? And so for me, it's like, how do I cause people to go and buy now? And it's really hard to do. And the only thing we found that gets people to buy right now is you have to take something away. What does that mean? Okay, so during the campaign, if I have a 10-month campaign or 6-month or however long it's going to be, I start introducing these things where I'm going to introduce something and I'm going to take it away. Okay, so the very first thing I do is I introduce is their ability to buy tickets at a discount, right? So when I first launched the event, tickets are on sale for whatever, $697 or $797, whatever it is. So I introduce the price, I give it to them, and then I take it away. So basically we have the watch the after movie, get discount tickets, and then for 72 hours, whatever that is, then it's okay, the price is going up to the normal price, which is $997, and so I take that away, take away the discount price, boom, and now they get the price at $997, okay? Now the next thing I introduce is I introduce the speakers, right? So I introduce the speakers, but then what I do is I have every speaker give a speaker bonus, right? So I'm giving them something. So you get your tickets, you're gonna get this speaker speaking, here's the bonus. Here's the next speaker speaking, there's the bonus. So I walk through all the speakers, all different bonuses. So I introduce those things. After the end of that campaign, then I say, okay, you've seen all the speaker bonuses. These are now available for 72 hours, and then we're getting rid of them. I'm gonna pull them away, right? And so then we announce like the speaker bonuses are disappearing, and so we're gonna take them away in 72 hours. We have a whole campaign, 72 hours, 48, 24, 12, 6, 3 hours from now. And what happens, you see a huge spike in sales, and then we take it away, and then the sales drop back down to a normal trickle, right? And so, so I'm always introducing things. And then we'll introduce you get replays from the last 10 years events, and then we take that away. And then you get this, then we take away. But giving them things and taking away is the best way to increase sales dramatically. One of the problems a lot of people do is they try to raise the price too early. I found as soon as you raise price, it's like the last stop is to raise price. So for me, usually it's the week before, and we do a raise price or sell out campaign. So it's like, hey, either we're going to double the price or we're going to sell out, whatever happens first, go. And then we do a whole campaign around that, and we get our last big, huge surge of sales before the event actually happens. And then we always sell out. So that's kind of the game plan of what we do. Okay, so I want to show you guys, I'm going to take you guys over into Barnum, where you can actually get copies of all of the swipe files from these funnels. All right, now Barnum PT is kind of like ChatGPT, and PT Barnum had a baby, and this is the free Chrome plugin we created for you guys to be able to do all your funnel hacking in one spot. And again, it's a free tool if you go to barnumpt.com. But what's cool about this is I already used Barnum to go and take screenshots of all of these different funnels that I showed you guys today. And so if you want, you can click on the link in the description down below, and what will happen is I'll actually import the entire swipe file into your Barnum PT account for free right now. In fact, let me show you what it looks like. Now, the way Barnum works is this little plugin right here. You can see there's a little hat. You click on that, and it gives you all these really cool funnel hacking tools you can use. So let's say, for example, you want to go and get a screenshot of just this section right here. You can grab it right here, and boom, it takes a screenshot of that part of the page, and it saves it to your Barnum PT account, which is really cool. But like I said, I already funnel hacked all these pages for you, and so what you can do, so this is what it looks like in the back office of Barnum PT, and you can see this is my swipe file sections. These are all different swipe files, all my favorite funnels. And so I took these 3 event funnels I just showed you, and you can see all of the swipe files are in here. So here's the Funnel Hacking Live 10 funnel. You click right here, and you can see here's page number 1. There's page number. So you can see all the pages. That way you can use them as a model when you're building out your event funnels. Over here is the FHL documentary funnel. Again, you can see all the pages for this funnel here. And then number 3 is the FHL Backstage Pass funnel. You see all the pages of that funnel right here. And again, you get these for free by clicking the link down in the description below. And it'll import these swipe files into your Barnum PT account. And again, you can get Barnum PT for free by going to barnumpt.com. All right, you guys, so that is behind the scenes of our Funnel Hacking Live event funnel. Again, that funnel has put over 5,000 people into a room for us year after year after year. If you haven't been to Funnel Hacking Live yet, this is the last one coming up very soon at funnelhackinglive.com. I would love to know what what your biggest aha was you got from this funnel build, things you learned, things you saw, things you can implement. Let me know in the comments down below. Now, I want you to understand that my love language is physical touch, but because I can't hug you through the screen, my second love language is words of affirmation. So anything you tell me in the comments down below would mean the world to me. That way I know what things you like, what things you want me to show more of. If there's a certain funnel you want me to funnel hack and show you behind the scenes of, let me know, and that way I can go do those funnel hacks for you guys. Thanks so much. If you enjoyed this video, then over here or somewhere, there's gonna be a link to another video where you can watch me going behind the scenes in another one of our funnels. Thanks so much, and we'll see you guys soon.